Hello, and welcome to this video short on Smart Assessor for viewing feedback. To get the best out of these instructional videos, it would be great if you were logged on to Smart Assessor, where you can practice and navigate through the steps with me. Using two screens side by side would also be ideal. If you need time to log in, pause this video now. Go on, I'll wait here until you're ready. So I'm assuming you've rejoined me. Now, if you've either been informed by your assessor that your unit is marked and on Smart Assessor, or you've received an email from Smart Assessor with brief feedback, it's important to know that this email will usually only give you a summary, and the more detailed feedback is with your original work. It's easier to show you, so let's get started. So on Smart Assessor, I want you to select the Qualification tab. That's this one right just here. This one says CNG, City and Guilds, Level 2 Diploma, but it could quite easily be Pearson's or another qualification. So make sure the one that you select is sitting slightly proud of the rest of them. So now I want you to select this widget. So this one is called Upload Work. Here, when we click on Upload Work, you will see every piece of work that you've uploaded to Smart Assessor. This is your library of evidence. I want to take you briefly through the icons on here so you know what their purpose is. So first of all, we've got an individual reference number. So every piece of evidence has an individual ID reference. The next thing on here is the name of the document. It's important to make sure that you name your documents well. It makes it easier to find. It makes them easier to identify. Next along here, if we actually hover over these icons, it will tell you what they are. Let me just change so it does that. So the next one in here is where your feedback is. So this little blue box here. So if I hover over here, do you remember how we said that you might have received an email? Well, this summary feedback that I'm seeing here, that's what you will have got. The next bit on here is the date. So this is the date and the time that you uploaded your evidence. As we move along, you can see there is a backwards pointing green arrow, which if I hover over it, it says resubmit. We'll come to that later in a separate video for that one. Can you see the difference here? Those backwards pointing green arrows, should I say, one of them has got a red square around it. So we'll look at that in the next video. A little bit further along, and the next icon is Edit Evidence Details. So this appears as a little orange pencil, and that's where we're going to go. But I'm just going to go to the next one, which again has got a difference there. So there's a green or there is a black tick. So if your work has been uploaded and not marked and not mapped on Smart Assessor, it appears in red writing, the black tick. If your work has been read, the writing goes black, and if it's mapped onto Smart Assessor, the tick goes green. But let's click on the Edit Evidence Details and let's go into where your work actually is. So here, you might recognize this as the first screen where you uploaded your evidence in the first place. If you haven't done it already, I want you to make sure that you've ticked the declaration right just here. So this is the equivalent of you signing to say that this is your own work. Now, nobody else can click this. It needs to be you. So now let's go to the assessor feedback. So if you've received an email, this is the feedback that was in the email, which is fine. But as I said, that's just a summary. That's very brief. Underneath here, we've got another little button here, and this is Upload External Feedback. So you could have got brief feedback in here if it's just a short piece of work. If, for example, you've uploaded a photo of you performing effective hand hygiene, for example, your assessor may just put your feedback in there. But if you've done an assignment, the likelihood is that your assessor is going to upload your feedback here. So let's click on this. And when I click on it, what's going to happen is it's either going to download, and you'll see it here at the bottom left-hand side of your screen, or as it's done with my screen, it's downloaded and it's up at the top right-hand side of the screen. So I want to select Open File. Let's wait for that to happen. It's probably going to open on my next screen, so I'll just drag this across. Okay. So here you can see how the feedback has been set out. So the assessor here has given some feedback in annotation form. They've acknowledged the fact that this is a short answer and asked for a resubmission. They've given some direction as to why. Your assessor might also give you feedback within the assignment directly underneath your answer. Either way, if you have a read through your feedback, you'll see where your assessor has said you've done really well. You might have to do some additional work, or they might make recommendations for further work. Things for you to read. So let me get rid of that. So back onto this screen. Here is the points for improvement box. And as you can see, the assessor has reminded you to tick the declaration for your own work. They've also said, remember that you're reading and reference sources. They must be reliable, they must be reputable. So peer sharing sites, for example, are not recommended because they might lead to incorrect answers or out-of-date information. So make sure when you're going in here and you're looking for your feedback that you check you've ticked the declaration, you read the summary feedback, you open up the uploaded feedback if it's there, and then you check for any points for improvement. The only other thing that I'm going to recommend here is that when you open up this external feedback, that you save it. If you save it, you've got all your feedback there and you can add to it, you can change it, you can revise it, ready for resubmitting. So, thank you for listening. I hope this little video short has been useful to you. And when you're ready, move on to the next one.